BDR FHIR Spark, Java, Spring Microservices Reporting API greatly enhances healthcare reporting. GUI with checkboxes for FHIR R5's 147 resources, 27,927 fields and subfields. Offers criteria for conditions and values. Allows for one or as many patients that meet the user's criteria. Reporting results do not need patient ID or any patient PHI. Such as a search for all records of a particular disease and medications used by patients without identifying any PHI or personal patient information. Data is protected with BDR's end-to-end encryption of PHI and PII from FHIR, EMR EHR, HL7 and general healthcare data. Now we are beginning processing of the BDR FHIR Reporting microservice. We will be reporting from a FHIR repository version R5. This latest FHIR version has 147 resources and 27,927 fields and subfields. We are first selecting a few fields from the patient resource. Now with the process complete we are viewing the results. Though we see the data unencrypted, the source data was and will stay encrypted as we will see later, and due to this user's roles and permissions, they are able to view the data unencrypted. We will also see later how a patient, analyst or medical professional may securely download their query results and decrypt the results after securely running a BDR decrypt microservice. Now we are demonstrating the creation of a report for patients only in Chicago and Texas. We start by selecting some fields from the patient resource that will show all patients meeting all the criteria. We will not be using or exposing the patient's personal information as the BDR microservice does not require this information. We are also searching for only one specific observation code along with patients with that code only in Chicago and Dallas. Here we see only 2 records with that observation code from Chicago and 1 from Dallas, again with no patient personal information. Here we see the FHIR linkage table, and the BDR microservice uses this in the same way the FHIR APIs use it to find all the necessary data based on necessary connections. This is necessary to find the multi-levels of fields and subfields. Here we can see, as stated earlier, all PHI data is secured with encryption which will meet with HIPAA, CCPA, GDPR and other regulatory requirements. Here is an example of taking the BDR FHIR reporting results and writing these results to a database, though the user could also have selected to write this information to many different data lakes. Of course, the user may select this data to be AES 256 encrypted. Next, we will view the user downloading the BDR reporting results to their personal device encrypted and secured, then through security, unencrypting the data for their use. It will be download and another password that will be necessary to execute the BDR microservice that will decrypt the encrypted data that was downloaded so the user can read and use this data. Again, BDR's framework creates an end-to-end encryption experience. Here we see that the user is prompted for the unzip password before the files are available to start processing. Now that the user entered a valid password, the zip files are available. Now, the user opens the current CSV file in Excel, and as we can see the data is encrypted, so if this file was intercepted it would have no value to hackers. Now the user clicks on the BDR microservice to decrypt the data they want to see and or work with and is prompted for the second password they created. Now the user opens the newly created CSV file, and the data is decrypted and available for their viewing or analytical processing. BDR has end-to-end encryption until proper credentials are supplied.
Encrypts sensitive private data for CCPA, GDPR and HIPAA, the road to defeat data breaches and disaster. We prepare you for the July 1st CMS regulations and allow for encrypted patient and analyst downloads with secured decryption microservices. BDR Spark 3.x, Java, Spring Swagger framework is scalable and automated. Facilitates in FHIR ingestion and migration.